Welcome to ISAT Daily. I'm Matt, the Parable.
And I'm Sarah, Patriot Lockstep.
So, it looks like Governor Pritzker has signed something that is, again, challenged parents.
A little controversial.
A little controversial, I'll say. Let's take a look at it here. Illinois governor repeals parental notification of abortion. Illinois governor signed legislation Friday to repeal a requirement that parents or guardians be notified when a minor is seeking an abortion, calling it an effort to safeguard reproductive rights that are being stripped and threatened elsewhere. Effective January 1st, 2024, the measure repeals a 1995 act requiring that a parent or guardian be notified of at least 48 hours in advance when a minor 17 or younger seeks an abortion. The earlier law did not require consent, which is required in nearly half the states.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, I don't understand how that is considered a win.
No, I don't either. I mean, that's something that can change your reproductive future, you know.
And, for kids 17 and younger, to not notify the parents is just, what are you hiding?
Right.
Why do you need to hide that? Obviously it's wrong in general, but why do you need to hide that from your parents if you would think that having the whole family on board, whatever they're going to do or not do, is something that solidifies the parental unit. But, here we are. So let's take a look at the next slide.
Illinois Republicans criticized the move by Pritzker and other Democrats as stripping parents of the right to know what's happening in their daughters' lives. GOP Rep. Avery Bourne called it out of touch with a majority of Illinois residents and said it puts girls across the Midwest in danger. Parents deserve the right to know if their minor child is seeking any medical procedure, especially one like an abortion, where there can be serious short and long-term consequences. Instead, today, the Democrat majority has chosen to recklessly push those rights to the wayside. Democrats who control Illinois government have been focused on strengthening access to abortion and reproductive health care in recent years, an effort that took on new urgency after Republican President Donald Trump took office and began appointing conservative justices and federal judges. As Republican-controlled states and courts have restricted access, including in surrounding states, Illinois has seen an increase in the number of people from out of state traveling to Illinois for abortions. Pritzker's office, citing the Illinois Department of Public Health, reported 7,534 non-residents received abortions in Illinois in 2019, compared to 2,970 in 2014 and 5,528 in 2017.
And it's no wonder why you have states like Texas that the law that they passed,
Yeah.
The heartbeat law, and that is, I think, the norm.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, and actually, maybe that doesn't even go far enough. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
And they have people that are now leaving states that do have some sort of law, and they're running here.
Yeah. Illinois is really working hard to be the murder state, the murder capital.
The murder capital of the world, literally.
Right. Yeah.
There's more slides. Take a look at the next one. Springfield, Illinois. Bishop Thomas Payne Paprocki of the Diocese of Springfield, Illinois, issued the following statement in response to Governor J.B. Pritzker signing legislation into law that repeals the Parental Notice of Abortion Act. Governor Pritzker, signing of HB 370, deceptively titled Illinois Youth Health and Safety Act, which repeals the Parental Notice of Abortion Act, marks a dark and disgraceful moment in the history of the state of Illinois. Those legislators who promoted the vote and voted in support of this legislation, and governor who signed this unjust law, have granted a 5-part victory to evil in our state. And he's true. This is truth. He's exactly right. I'm curious as to what those 5 things are.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is perfectly. This is a perfect evaluation of what Pritzker did.
Yeah.
They're hiding again behind words.
Yeah.
There is nothing about Illinois youth health and safety.
Right.
It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with it.
Safety would be like your parents being involved and in your
Exactly.
medical care, you know.
And this doesn't matter how you look at abortion, it's still a medical procedure.
Right. Well, I mean, if you have to have parental consent to get like your ears pierced,
Yeah.
I mean that's a minor procedure.
Oh, no, you can't. You have to have that. But
Right.
if you want to get rid of a baby, you want to commit murder, nope, you don't need it. So let's take a look at the next slide.
First, our government has granted a free pass to sex traffickers. Those who enslave young women and girls throughout our state can now, even more easily than ever before, cover up their crimes with impunity. Those in law enforcement and social services who fight so hard to combat this evil, as well as those young women and girls who are enslaved by evil forces in this industry, have been dealt a demoralizing blow by our government. Second, our government has violated God's will in stripping the authority and responsibility entrusted to parents. This legislative action violates the most fundamental rights and duties entrusted by God to parents to ensure the health and safety of their children. This is a right and responsibility that God grants and which no government can take away. In attempting to do so, this legislation acts directly against God's will, which is the very definition of evil. Third, our government has imperiled the children whom God has entrusted to their governance. The government rightly exercises its authority by establishing laws that protect minors from making life-altering decisions that they are not equipped to make, establishing laws that prohibit children from tanning, buying lottery tickets, buying cigarettes, and purchasing alcohol and tobacco. Minors cannot get body piercings without parental consent, nor can they undergo every other invasive medical procedure without parental consent. Removing the requirement for parental notification, our government has knowingly put our children in mortal danger and physical danger.
And I'm going to say this, as I've said many times, the communists are coming for your children. They did it with the school boards.
Right.
They're coming for your children there. They want the state to raise your children and be responsible for it. And here again, the health of your child. They don't, if you notice, a lot of the stuff that they're doing, they're removing the parents out of the equation.
Yeah.
And here we go again. So you're getting a medical procedure. They don't want the parents to know. What if something happens?
Yeah. And what is the minimum age of that? I mean, these days girls are starting to get their periods when they're like 8, 9, 10 years old. I mean, that is definitely a deadly procedure, I would think, for, a 10 or an 11-year-old.
I would be utterly shocked if this doesn't get challenged somewhere.
Yeah, I would think so,
it
too.
It needs to be challenged. Let's take a look at the next slide. Fourth, and most grievous, is the government has promoted and facilitated murder. Pope Francis has rightly called abortion murder, hiring a hitman to solve a problem. This heinous offense against God and the neighbor is now made more easily accessible to minor children than tattoos or getting their ears pierced. Fifth, the government has provided evil the cover of darkness in which it thrives. The devil desires darkness and despises the light. It is striking how much this legislation does to provide cover, secrecy, and darkness over evil deeds. But the light will come and judge and deeds of men. We pray this day for the conversion of heart and a renewal of mind among those in authority who perpetrated this evil on our people. We pray solemnly this day also for the protection of the many children and families imperiled by this unjust law.
Let's hope his prayer is answered.
Exactly. So, again, this, I don't know how many times I have to say it. This is, again, they're trying to take the children away from the parents.
Yeah, and as a parent, I'm not okay with that. I know there are cases where kids would be afraid to tell their parents, but ultimately, it's not just some minor thing. It's something that parents need to be involved in. This could end up major lawsuits, I feel like. I mean, who's going to be responsible when something goes wrong in these cases, who's...
Exactly. There is no the state doesn't have any liability in it. They have the law, but I think, the first time something does happen, you might see where the state is held liable.
Right.
We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. So please subscribe, like, and share the video. and have a great day, folks.
Bye.